Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our program. Here we are together again on the radio with a listener named Greg in San Diego. Greg writes in and says, "Hello, Tom. I've been noticing something that really pisses me off. Every Friday and Saturday night around 11 or midnight, I see these loser guys double parked, dropping off their dates, and then waiting in their cars until their date safely walks into her house or apartment. A, who watches her on the other 6 nights of the week? B, if you were not man enough to seal the deal or she blew you off, then why should you effing care if she gets home safely? And C, wouldn't that 5 minutes spent double parked be better spent organizing the rest of your Friday or Saturday night?" That's Greg in San Diego. And I think Greg is absolutely right. If she doesn't put out, why would you even take her home? My suggestion to you would be to tell her you have somewhere else you have to be. Take her to a taxi stand. Give her the phone number for the cab company. Or just bolt. If you were expecting to get some and you didn't get some, why do you care if she gets home? Mr. Chivalry, Sir Walter Raleigh, why do you care? I think Greg makes a very good point here. And there are women who they actually freak out if you don't watch to see if they got home. You'll take them home and then stay there and wait by the curb. What does she do when she comes home from work? Hell, daylight savings time is over now. It's dark at 4:30, 5 o'clock in most of the country now. She gets home, it's dark. When she dates other guys, she comes home in the dark. When she goes out with the girls, it's dark. She goes out to dinner, it's dark. Goes out to the movies with other dorks, it's dark. Probably goes to the supermarket once in a while. It's dark. If you didn't get what you wanted from her, why do you even care if she gets home safely? Is that your problem? Why waste your time? This chivalry thing is ridiculous because, let's face it, if you're not getting it, if you're not getting laid, it is a total waste of your time. And frankly, it's demeaning to you. You shouldn't be doing that. I wouldn't waste my time. I'll tell you what, if you play tease with me and then I go out with you and you're like, well, good night, you do that, I really don't care where you end up. I couldn't care less. If I just spent money on drinks or dinner or whatever, and I mean the $40 worth, if I don't get what I came for, I don't care. I don't care what happens. And honestly, I don't think there's much to worry about because you're a big girl. You know how to get home safely. You probably got that little can of mace or pepper spray or whatever. It's your problem the rest of the time. Why should I sit around and wait for you? One final humiliation after you've turned me down? Waste of my time. Demeaning to me. I think that Greg makes a lot of sense. Don't you?
Tom Leykis. Woof. Tom Leykis. Woof. 800-5800. Tom.
What's the good word today?
Boobs. Boobs are back.
The Tom Leykis Show.
The Tom Leykis Show. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Dave in Portland, Oregon. You're on the Tom Leykis Show, Dave. Hello.
How you doing, Tom?
I'm okay, Dave.
Hey, I have to agree with you to a certain extent there. That's a little bit extreme, asking you to wait in a car and watch for somebody that's going up to a door or something.
Why should you even take them home, for God's sake?
Well, yeah, I mean, if you can get out of that, that's a good thing. But
Oh, well, you can. You have to have the guts to do it.
About it, though, Tom. You have to have a little class.
You really don't.
Well,
because if you're not going to see this person again,
well,
if you're hoping to let her know that she really does not have this option of just bailing on you, this is really the best way to do it.
You're very right in, establishing a policy of, you break the deal, it's done. But, you shouldn't just completely destroy the bridge if there's still a chance to tread over it.
I'm not saying to destroy the bridge. I'm just simply saying that you tell her you have somewhere else you got to be.
Oh, yeah. If you can get out of it, that's the best.
In fact, the best thing to do is to have her meet you in her car somewhere.
Yeah.
And if she doesn't, well, you just got called away and it's an emergency.
Yeah. That's the one good thing about pagers. You don't have to explain it and have a long conversation.
Oh, cell phones, text messages. There's a million ways to do it. The great thing, try this one. Text message yourself.
Uh-huh.
Send yourself a text message. You can even show it to her. Oh, look at this. This is important. I got to go.
They called in another doctor. I need to go and supervise.
Yeah, absolutely. And when she asks why it's coming from you, you say, well, you've got 2 cell phones, and one of them is in your office, and your secretary used it to page you.
Excellent, Tom.
And get the hell out of there and let her take her own cab home.
You are my God, Tom. Here you go, the bong rip.
Here you go, Dave. Julie on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Great.
Good. I have a question for you.
Yes.
Okay, I've just started listening. I live in San Diego, and I hear how you talk about the dynamics between powerful guys and hot chicks and where everybody, what the pecking order is.
Right.
But as a woman, I'm 28 years old, and I have definitely accepted help from men that have more than I do. But I want to know, and I don't know if you do this, but do the men that give money or provide help or whatever assistance, do they absolutely disrespect and think those chicks are just,
I think those guys are as pathetic as the women they're lending help to. And
well, then how come, okay.
I would not give a woman a penny. Not a penny.
I know you're for a $40 rule. I've heard it all.
No, but not only that. If somebody came to me and said, I can't pay the rent this month. By the way, it's happened.
Then how come you
I need $1,000. I need $500. I just need something to get me through to the end of the month.
Yeah.
I've had women say this to me.
Well, then how come you say as long as you're hot, it doesn't matter if you're successful? Is that just because all you care about is having sex with women?
That is really all men care about, dear.
I know.
No matter what you think.
No, I know. I know. You're absolutely right. And I don't know a lot about you, and I just started listening. But are you divorced? Or are you just?
Yes, I am.
Have you always felt this way?
Mostly, I have.
Because my sister just got married, and I hope it doesn't turn out like this. Because I'm very it's hard. I feel like nothing will ever work out, and I'm not.
No, there's nothing in it for a guy to. We've said this on the show, and you may be new to the show, so there's nothing in it for a guy to get married or to let you move in with him.
Well, then what's the point of me being hot?
To have sex with you.
Okay, so
because we get aroused when you are hot and you get naked.
Do you take money from women?
I've never been offered money by a woman, and the answer is no.
Okay. So I just wanted to know from you, because you're very...
How often do women are the cheapest creatures on earth? Now, you may be the exception to the rule, but generally speaking, women are cheap. That's why they have to have ladies' night at clubs.
I heard this whole spiel the other
And you know it's true.
Well, I don't go...
How often do women go to a man going, do you need $500 to get you through to the end of the month? Come on.
But then what they expect in return something, obviously.
Well, I know, because the women who do that are fat and fugly, and they somehow manage to get a musician to live sleeping on their couch or whatever.
So, but does the guy that...
Out-of-work actors.
Where does the guy that, like a lot of my friends that are married that just want to have babies, like why are they so happy and why are they so...
Because they found a sperm donor in a human wallet.
No, I'm talking males.
We don't know that they're happy.
True.
Yeah, you hear what your girlfriends tell you. We talk to a lot of those husbands on this program.
And they're frustrated and
many
mad?
of them frustrated, yeah. Because you know what happens? Women desexualize once they have babies in this country.
I know. That's exactly why I'm only having dogs.
Do you know I did a little experiment around a pool in Key West, Florida? I was sitting with my girlfriend at the time, and we were looking around the pool, and I said, take a look around. I bet I can tell you which women are married and which ones aren't. She said, how? I said, well, first of all, let's take it that the women who are married will be wearing a ring. All right? So that's how we'll confirm it, rather than asking around. But you look around this pool, every woman whose hair is chopped off and who could stand to lose 10, 20, 30 pounds has a ring. Every woman with long hair who's in great shape has no ring. Ready, go.
But what do you think they're looking for?
What do you mean? Well, what is who looking for?
The women with no ring and long hair.
They're looking to meet a guy who will sire their children so they can cut their hair and chunk up. Not have to worry about it anymore.
All pretty women, I guarantee.
I never use the word all, dear. It's just generally true.
You're right.
It's generally true.
You're right.
And women find staying slim and attractive to be a burden. It's an effort.
No, it's not at all.
Well, most women do. And so the result, by the way, the proof is in the pudding. Now, you go down there to Ralph's or whatever supermarket you choose and look around about 10 o'clock in the morning and see the women in the stretch pants and the sweat pants and the stringy, greasy, sweaty hair. These women looked hot at one time till they found Mr. Sucker to pay for the groceries.
So what's the solution then
for men to hold out and try to avoid getting married for as long as possible?
What about for us chicks? Just hang out and have fun, and like you say, like there's nothing wrong with just skipping dinner altogether.
Well, I tell women in this country, women are bitches in this country, and I of course there are exceptions to every rule, dear, but I tell them, if you want to have a happy relationship, hair long, body slim, dinner on the table, socks folded.
And no expectations.
Well, that's the expectations of the man who's paying your bills.
Oh, okay.
You see, and women seem to think this is just a free ride,
Oh, it's not.
But they believe that in many cases. They think that, now I'm married, so now I don't have to look good anymore.
And then their husbands hate them. They never get to have sex. They hate each other for the rest of their lives.
Well, that's why the divorce rate in Southern California, Julie, is 2 out of every 3.
Why, are you ever going to get married again?
Well, you don't know this, but I've been married and divorced 4 times, dear.
Oh, my Lord.
All right, but the bottom line is, even though there's no benefit for me to do it, every time I said I would never do it again, I did it, so I'll never say never. But I will say that if I do it, somebody should just put a bullet in my head because it doesn't make any sense. There's nothing in it for me to get married. Nothing. Nothing.
Well, I truly appreciate your brutal honesty, and I like your show a lot, and I'm going to continue to listen.
Well, thank you so much. I'm so glad you found us in San Diego. That's so cool.
Yeah, it is. It's awesome. I love it.
Thank you, dear.
Thank you.
Appreciate the call. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Perla on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Perla.
How are you doing? I have to confess to you, sir, I've learned everything from men from you. I've been listening to you since I was a freshman in high school.
Uh-huh.
So thank you so much for creating a superwoman is what I consider myself.
Oh, absolutely, because you benefit from this as much as any man who would listen.
Oh, yeah. Actually, my dad got me to listening to you, but then when we'd be out at sex, he'd, turn it off, and then when I became a senior, I just turned it on. I'm like, Dad, I think I know what he's talking about. It's okay. We can deal with this later.
Uh-huh.
So, okay, the thing about girls that need to be walked out while their guy's still in the car, I think are little girls. And little girls need to stay home because big girls can either A, drive themselves, B, take the bus, or C, meet the guy there. And if the guy's driving them home for 2 reasons, either they're going to make out on the doorstep, make out in my bed, or get busy, one of the 3.
Anybody who is that high maintenance had better have their mouth full.
Well, exactly. And the way I see it is if you're going to be playing tease like, oh, baby, I want you, and then be like, well, I don't think so. They need to be called prostitutes because that's what they are.
Right.
They just want a free ride. I have 2 jobs because I have to pay for my car, pay for my manicures, pay for everything else. And if sometimes I want to buy a guy a drink, I'll buy a guy a drink.
Right.
I work for a reason, to support myself, not to be supported.
That's right.
So the thing is, though, it's like these women that are the one thing about I do have to disagree with you. I have short hair for 2 reasons. One, I have a beautiful face, and I want it to not be hidden behind hair and deal with a ponytail.
You can have long hair where your face is not hidden there.
Well, yeah, but I don't hide my face. I have cute bangs.
But guys prefer long hair.
Well, that's right. You prefer long hair, but most men that I've dated prefer my short hair.
Well, dear, they want to get in your pants. So they'll take you bald.
Well, see, here's the thing, though. I have a nice set of cheeks in both ends of my body.
Mm-hmm.
So I like to show those off. Either
I
my
understand.
short hair.
But I'm telling you, the selection of desirable men would go up exponentially if you had long hair.
Okay, well, I am trying to grow it out for the winter because I'm going to Athens in 2 years.
Plus, what do we grab onto when we're spanking your ass?
Well, you grab onto my neck, darling, and or a thong, so you can spank it anytime you want to.
That's so. I'll make an appointment.
So, yeah, I've been listening to your show, and all the women that was just on there, like, oh, my friends are married, and, well, there's the reason why they're married. It's because they're bored with the dating game. They don't want to do it anymore. I haven't had a serious relationship in 30 years because I'm 20, and I want to have fun, not be buried down by a boyfriend that's going to make me feel like I'm a slut because I want to go out and check out guys for anything. Guys can do it, why can't women?
You can do it. Go right ahead.
I mean, it's just like my dad, when he came to visit me, he kind of found my secret stash of goodies that I used for not to have babies. And I'm like, well, you don't need to worry about that, Dad. That's just in case of emergencies. I mean, sometimes I don't even bring them home. I'd rather go to their place, take my car, and be able to leave in the morning when he's passed out. I don't need to stick around. No cuddling. Just go. Get it done.
Sounds good to me. Yeah, well, put that number out there for everybody who feels the same way. Ready? 503. Come on.
No, 503. No, I have a 971 number.
Oh, you're 971.
Yes.
Oh.
I'm a stand-up comedian, so I listen to talk radio a lot. You know, political, comedy, all of it, just so I can get material. And believe it or not, I get more material by hanging out at a Starbucks, pretending to read when I'm actually writing down material about girls complaining about the guy that doesn't call them. You know what? If the guy doesn't call me by the third date, or by the 3 days after the third date, it's not meant to be.
By the way, over there at Starbucks, how many girls do you see actually reading anything?
Actually, I live in Portland, and I live in the student section, so they pretend. But a lot of it is like, he's not really into you. It's all those stupid, like, men are from Mars, men are from Venus, relationship books. If you're honest with your parents, go talk to your dad and ask him about his college days. Like, my father sat me down and told me everything under the sun about how guys think, how guys are. If they're covering your head with a pillow during sex, it means that he doesn't really want to see you. He's just screwing you because you're a warm body.
That's right.
And there's a lot of things that women don't know, and they play stupid. My brother's in the Navy, and some of the things that I've heard him repeat to me, I've been like, oh, my God, women out there believe this crap? I mean, he's got a girlfriend on every pier, and I thought that kind of ended with emails. But nope, they still call for that uniform.
Well, I know that's true, Perla. I do. Hey, thank you for the call. I appreciate it. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. This is Mo on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Mo.
How's it going?
Going great.
First time, long time.
Thank you.
So I was out in Chicago, in Illinois, for the last 3 weeks, and it's good to have you back.
Thank you.
I can't get you out there on the radio.
I know.
Yeah, so me and my buddy, back to the subject here, I met a guy out there that works for the company that I went out there for work, and he's been showing me around and took me to some bars, and they've got a lot of after-hour bars there that we don't have around here in Southern California, like that stay open until 5 and 6.
Right.
And we were out at a bar. We met this chick that was just amazing, and she was really good looking. And so we invited her to come with us to this after bar that was closer to our house, figuring if we got her there, it would be easier to get her home. So we took her to this after-hours bar, and she ditched her friends to come with us.
Right.
And so we're there, and we're drinking, and so we started talking about going back to his place, and and getting things going. And she wasn't willing to go, so we left her there.
Well, that's a good idea. See, Mo, let me give you a little hint here, okay? Never take a chick to an after-hours place. Women, you know what a filibuster is, right? Like in Congress, when they talk all night trying to keep any business from getting done. Mm-hmm. Women like to filibuster. So they love to go out, like, let's go out to Denny's and have a Grand Slam breakfast. Let's go to this underground club. There's this all-night play. There's a rave I know about. Let's go. Let's dance all night. These are women telling you, I am not going to have sex with you. So the minute you have to take a woman to another club, another bar, you're dead. You are not getting any. At no point even doing it.
Yeah.
You could have saved yourself a few bucks.
Yeah, well, we didn't.
And all that time.
Actually.
Well, you could have saved all that time, too.
Yeah, that's really what
time you wasted, because I guarantee you, once the premise is that you have to take it to another club, She's going to tell you she has to get up for work in the morning. She's going to tell you that she had a friend waiting for her. Or she's got some excuse why she can't come over with you finally back to the final location.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
That's what it is, I guess, huh?
Yeah, I mean, you did the right thing ditching her, but you could have saved yourself that time, too.
I guess so. Well, for next time.
Absolutely.
All right, Tom, take me out with a bong hit.
Here you go, Mo.
Thank you, Jesus.
John on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello, John.
The whole agreement.
John. Disappeared at the last minute. Heather on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom. How are you?
Great.
Great. I listen to you all the time, and there's times when I switch you off, which I have the right to do, of course, and you encourage that as well. Just that, when women get married and they cut their hair, they gain weight, that isn't always.
No one used the word always or the word all. It's generally true.
Okay.
Next time you're over there at, Pavilions, where do you shop there?
I shop at Albertsons.
Albertsons, right. I want you to go to Albertsons. Do you work a day job there?
Yes, I do.
All right. If you ever get a day off or if you ever, it could be Columbus Day or some day like that, go to Albertsons at 10 o'clock in the morning. And instead of just shopping and filling your basket with stuff, look at the women in the store. And you tell me how many 9s and 10s are in that store. In fact, how many 8s, 9s, or 10s are in that store. Or how many 8s, 9s, or 10s are in the store and not wearing sweatpants or no makeup. Now, I'm telling you, sure, there are exceptions to the rule. But there aren't many because they're exceptions.
And you know what? And of course, there are exceptions with men who, when they get older and they get married, they don't try to keep themselves up.
But by the way, most men don't keep themselves up. But the reason is because most men pay the majority of the bills. So this is the little tax that women have to pay.
Yes, but there's also the things you also have to add in there that on average men make more than women.
But men make more than women for a reason. Okay. A number of reasons. One is men have riskier jobs, and more physically demanding jobs, more dangerous jobs. Men also show up to work every day, 5 days a week for 40 years. And we have no choice. We work until we're dead. We don't have maternity leave or sabbaticals or flex time, telecommuting or any of that stuff.
Well, I'm sure some of that is true, but you also don't.
That is why women earn less. It is not because women are being discriminated against.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily agree with that.
Well, there's a whole book about it by Dr. Warren Farrell. I recommend you read it.
Okay.
Dr. Warren Farrell. Look him up on Amazon.com. Read his book.
Okay.
All the facts, all the statistics are in there.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, Dr. Warren Farrell, who's been a guest on this show, was a former member of the National Organization for Women. And for many years called himself a feminist.
Okay.
He did the research. He's a Ph.D., dear. Read the book. Now, I know being a younger woman, you probably don't crack open a book very often unless it's a romance novel or a murder mystery or something.
Again, a generalization doesn't fit this.
I see. What was the last nonfiction book you read, darling?
Well, I went to grad school, so I read quite a few.
How many years ago was that?
I just finished grad school in August.
Why did it take so long?
What? I served military for a couple years in my country. Went to school for 5 years. I'm 31, so there was a couple of years that I was a dancer. I was a stripper.
You were a stripper. Okay.
Yes, I was.
So name the last nonfiction book you read, dear.
Let's see. Fast Food Nation.
Really? Author?
Excuse me? I don't know the
name of the author. Well, that is a book, and I read it myself.
It's a pretty good book.
All right. Well, you should read this book, the one I'm telling you about.
Okay. It's a deal. Just want you to know that there are...
Do you remember the name of the author?
Women like myself.
Do you remember the name of the author of the book?
Dr. somebody. F somebody.
How are you going to look the book up if you don't know the name of the author? Because you have no intention of reading the book. That's why.
You're probably right.
There we go. Huh?
And that's probably why you're doing a radio station and I'm not.
And that's why you called me. Well, I don't believe that. The statistics are available in a book. They're all in one book, and you can find them.
But
so you're real quick to call in and say you don't believe my statistics. Then when I tell you where to find the information, that it's documented, you have no interest in looking it up.
But you will have to. Hopefully you'll agree with me when you realize that there are different research. You can go to different.
There's all kinds of studies that are quoted in this book. It's written by a PhD who was a member of the National Organization for Women.
But you can slant statistics any way you want.
Well, yeah, then I obviously, how can we have it? First you say you don't believe statistics. Then you say they can be slanted any way you want. So if the statistics said what you believe, then you would be quoting them to me. But since they don't,
when the statistics say that...
I have challenged women to call in and prove that they are being discriminated against in terms of pay. That they do the same job, have the same experience, and the same education as a man. No woman has ever proved it to me. Ever.
And just out of curiosity, why do you think they teach it in colleges, that women, on average, are
because women's studies department are populated by hardcore, truck-driving diesel dykes who are there to indoctrinate young women. That's who's teaching those courses.
So you think they just make it up just because they want to...
Oh, please, dear. College campuses are the most politically correct places in America.
Uh-huh.
Yes. And any man who dares go into a classroom and say some of the things I say, they'll hold a tribunal.
Oh, you're probably right.
That's why.
They probably wouldn't even let you in the building.
Well, that's my point. But they can't keep the radio out of the building. I'll tell you what, we get into a lot of dorm rooms there.
Well, I always enjoy listening to you, and I appreciate your time, Tom.
As well you should, dear.
Tom. Really? Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM.
If I'm getting laid, I don't want to know I'm loved. If you love me, how about you keep that thought to yourself?
The Tom Leykis Show.
Los Angeles, it's the Tom Leykis Show. Nate is calling from Portland, Oregon, home of the other white meat. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Hi, Tom?
Yes.
Thanks for taking my call.
I did it as a public service, Nate.
So I'm sitting in the car driving, and I'm hearing what you're saying, and while I don't deny that what you're saying is the case, I think that what's more important is to address the issue at hand here, which is that women are viewed as objects in our patriarchal society. And
is your mother Wiccan, or what's the deal over there?
No, my mother's not Wiccan.
Parents are divorced, I can tell that.
No, my parents aren't divorced.
So your father's a pussy?
No, my whole point here is that the issue at hand is that women are objectified and
yes, and well they should be.
Why?
Because men are objectified. We're objectified for our money and our ability to earn.
No.
Oh, yes, we are. And we are exploited, too.
Oh. So
Any man paying vagina money knows that.
Say that again?
Any man paying vagina money knows that.
Oh, Tom, you've got to be kidding me.
No, I'm not kidding you, Nate. Why? I mean, if women are so independent and so equal, why do men need to pay alimony? I want an answer to that question, Nate.
Why do men need to pay alimony?
If women are equal and independent, why do they need to get a check from us after we're gone?
Well,
because they're not equal and they're not independent. They're tied to us like heroin addicts.
The whole point, though, is that they shouldn't be. The whole point is that
why do we have to pay them when they leave?
Because of the type of society we live in.
What do you mean because of the kind of society we live in?
Because they are tied to us, but they shouldn't be.
But they are, and that's the way it is. So we are objectified, too.
How are we objectified? And if you say money...
Because money. That's right, money. Our ability to earn. Our ability to earn more than they do. Our willingness to take more dangerous jobs and be more aggressive at the office.
And the only way it is like that is because that men have taken the role of production and control of surplus value in life today, and women have been forced to...
What are you talking about? What the hell are you talking about?
What do you mean? okay, men produce and control surplus value.
Wait, stop. We're going to take this one step at a time. What do you mean by surplus value? Define that.
Okay, we as men are able, or in the past, were able to go out and create surplus.
I'm not talking about the past. I'm talking about today. Women can do anything a man can do. Women have the right to do anything a man can do. They're not willing to do it.
Because of the way they've been raised. It doesn't make it right. And that's
who raises children mostly?
Sorry?
Who raises children? Who does most of the children? Women. That's right. So is it the fault of men that women raise them to do this?
It's the fault of men that women are expected to do this.
No, you don't have to do this. You don't have to do it at all. In fact, why do women beg us to marry them? Why do they twist our arms and give us ultimatums?
Like what?
Like saying, if you don't marry me by Christmas, that's it, I'm out. Why do they do that? I'll tell you what, they should just be free as a bird and not marry us.
Okay, I agree, then there should be no marriage.
But they insist. You date a woman more than a year and she starts telling you why you need to marry her. If they're so independent, why do they do that?
I don't know even how to...
Yeah, I know you don't, because you know what? You don't know what you're talking about. You went to some women's studies course, or your mother is some kind of cheap feminist or something, and you're repeating a bunch of claptrap you got from somebody else. You don't even know what you're talking about, son.
Oh, and you are part of the problem in this...
Oh, no. I'm part of the solution.
What are you proposing?
I am proposing that men not give money to women, that men not get married to women, that men not give their key to their apartment or their home to a woman, and let those women be independent, free as a bird, on their own. Let's see how equal they are.
Okay, so do that, but then make the rest of the lives of women and men equal as well.
No. Again, nobody has to give it up to me. Nobody has to give me sex. Nobody has to come live at my home.
Okay, but you're saying...
By the way, women give sex away the way they put coupons in the newspaper. You know what I'm talking about? Sex is used as a come-on to get men to marry them. That's what it's used for.
Okay, so tell me this then. Why is eroticism today merely that which arouses a man?
If women want to create their own eroticism, they're certainly welcome to do that.
And what would that look like? What would that be?
Son, it's no accident that a vagina is shaped like a wallet.
It would be the other way around.
For a woman, an orgasm would be a vagina stuffed with $100 bills. That would be erotic.
Well, I'm so glad I don't know the women that you're talking about.
You do know the women I'm talking about, son. They're all around you. And in Portland, there's a lot of pork.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And why is there porn? It's surely for the enjoyment of men by objectifying women.
Again, men are objectified as much as anybody else.
There's no...
Nothing is... Again, if women were not objectifying men, they would not ask us what we do for a living when they meet us. They would not refuse to sign prenuptial agreements. They would not demand alimony and child support from us. They do it because they're not equal. And they're not independent either.
And that right there is the issue at hand.
It's not our fault. These ladies want to go get a job and work every day, 5 days a week for 40 years. They certainly can, and no one's going to stop them.
And I know men and women that have been and are doing just that.
Fantastic. But the vast majority of them are not.
All right.
Hang on a second.
You're contradicting yourself, talking about surplus value or what. Do some study, bro. And by the way, I'm living in Portland. From Southern California, I moved up here, and I got to say, these short haircuts, I got to call that girl out. It's not attractive.
So you could see every roll of pork. That's the bottom line.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
There was a rule when we got married. Never mess around on me, never stop filleting me, and never get fat. Never stop belating me. Words I can live with.
The Tom Leykis Show.